Okay, hi guys, and welcome to another live stream on TC Talks. So, Wella pops in, thanks for joining. I guess you're just gonna see me ramble, and I guess because I'm trying to get this YouTube channel up and running, and because I also have a lot of thoughts that are running through my head. So, we'll see how it goes. Let's deep dive. And the topic I want to talk to today, among other things, is yeah. It's about self reflection and being able to think independently. And what I mean by this is, I guess this is a question that's been running through my head, and that is, um how do you how are you sure that the thoughts and the beliefs that you have are truly authentically yours? I'm not quite sure what actually brought this on, to be quite honest, but I just decided to, for whatever reason, pop in my head this today. And to be quite frank, when I wanted to do this, I I wanted to make a YouTube video thinking about this, and I don't think there really is, at least as I'm thinking about it right now, at the top of my head, I don't think there really is a concrete answer. But I can think about, I have had some thoughts as to why this, has, in my opinion, become a lot more difficult. And I think it's, humans are social creatures, which means we, interact, with other people quite a lot. But never, I think never in, I guess, human history have we had the ability to communicate or be connected to so many people, around the world at once. And when I mean that, I mean by social media. And it is definitely got its benefits. I, as someone who wants to get into filmmaking, probably could not have done half of the things that I have been able to do without you know putting myself out there and connecting to reaching out to other people on Facebook or other forms of Instagram, social media, all that stuff out there. But it is very much a double-edged sword. And I guess it is, I tend to think, especially for people that have grown up not knowing anything else aside from the internet and social media, and without revealing too much about my age, I was born before the internet really did come into, like, the, I guess, the influence or the significance that it is now. It might be hard to believe, but there was a time before the internet. So I can think about what I did with my time without it. That can be another another topic on itself. But I guess, yes, there hasn't been such a time that I am aware of where people are so connected. And I think because of that, even anonymously, and I think that comes with the desire to fit in, and it feeds in the what I believe is human nature, to be very, very tribal, and to stick with people that have the same thoughts and beliefs, you know have very similar thoughts and beliefs. But are they yours? I don't know. I don't. Maybe there really isn't a true answer to that. And I guess it just reminds me of this expression that you are the sum of the five. You are the summary of the five people closest to you. I don't know whether or not that holds now. We definitely, I guess, are influenced by the people that you are the most connected with. So, yeah, I guess this is just me. I think I've just been thinking about this a lot, and I think how people can actually be able to have thoughts and know that that's their independent, that's their opinions that they are forming. And I guess the education system, well, the Australian for one, doesn't really encourage this, because from what I remember, when I was at school up to university, I guess they teach you to I mean they teach you to learn, remember things from facts, as far as facts are concerned. But being able to formulate your own opinion and be able to think critically, I'm not quite sure whether or not that's something that is a skill that you can that is taught, even though I do think it should, especially now. I mean, where people are so eager to just get, just quick bites of information, without actually sifting through this, for example, sources, the facts, what people are saying, knowing that almost every article that they see is, you know, nobody's free from bias. I'm not, and I don't think anybody else is too, if they're being completely honest. But I guess as long as you can acknowledge it and, be aware of where your leanings lie, whether or not that be cultural, whatever identity axis you want to go to, and that can be a whole freaking topic on its own, and maybe it does tie into what I'm saying here, because I think what I've been observing, especially, and I might, go deeper into this, but yeah, I guess I started noticing it back in, even as far as 2010. So I wasn't really there in terms of, MySpace, but I actually did, for better or for worse, get into Tumblr, and I saw what was happening there. That, again, if for those that don't know what Tumblr actually is and what you can find, there's a lot of good stuff there. Maybe just like TikTok and Twitter, but there's a lot of also stuff that I would probably just say, better off not knowing. To for lack of better phrasing, but I guess my original point was I saw what was happening, and that is people were starting to like formulate identities, their sense of self, using external sources. And you can still see this because there always is that question, or this frame of thought, I guess. I don't know what the best way to describe it. And it's about, the whole concept of validation. And, my existence is valid, and on the one hand, I can see why this has happened. But on the other, I guess my point is, if you try to, seek validation, especially of yourself, from outside sources, outside communities, that is, in my opinion, not a very good idea, because it's, relying on external sources, because you can't rely on external sources. I think I've always been a strong advocate of being able to develop your own core, your own your basic foundation of your sense of self, right from ground floor with you. And I absolutely know that this is easier said than done. It took me months, maybe years, to be able to get, anywhere close to, my sense of, who I am and what I want. And yeah, it definitely isn't easy. With that said, it is worth it. So yeah, I guess I can see why it's a lot more difficult now, because the frame of thinking, it people want like a solution that's quick and easy. I mean, I can understand that, but what does it lead to? It leads to people always questioning who they are, what they want, and I definitely observed that for myself personally. That it left people really, really ironically unsure and very, very anxious as a result. So, yeah, and to get back into my original question, how do you know? Maybe you really can't, but, and I guess, feel free to comment and see if you can, give your own thoughts on this, because I would love to hear you guys, opinions on this subject matter, because I've been thinking about this a lot, and it is something that I think is worthwhile, and it is important, because the ability, once you be able to, figure out who you are and what you believe, almost everything, a lot of things, when regards to your life and where you want to go, falls into place very, very easily. So yeah, so I guess that I'll leave it at that. I'm hoping that I didn't ramble on too much. I'm trying to do this, I guess once, maybe twice a week. So do check this out. Do watch this space. If you have any comments about what I, basically rambled, feel free, of course, to like, share, comment, leave your own opinions about, what's it, how do you, in the age of social media, how do you make sure to stay centered and true to yourself? I will leave it at that. My name's Reese. Please join me for another episode of TC Talk. I'll see you then.